Good morning. Today is Tuesday, August 12th. I hope you had a good week. Coming in for another tarot casting for the week ahead for you. We are using the Felt Tarot. It is officially in stock in our shops. So if you've been wanting a copy, go on over. The links are always in the show notes. So let's see what energy we are focusing on this week. And this is the Crystal Ribs casting sticker. I actually painted this back in 2013 and decided to make it into a backdrop just because it's a pretty picture. So let's see. What energy is dominant this week for us? We have the Seven of Cups. So when I see that, I think about like there might be a lot of options or things dangling in front of us this week. Maybe there's, a decision that needs to be made, and there's like so many options that you might not feel like you know which one to choose from. But I don't think that's necessarily bad. Sometimes too many options will lead you to the one that you really want, and so you might have to just kind of close your eyes and trust. So let's see. I'm going to see what animal energy is going to be with us to help us through these decisions. We have the pig. The pig, whenever, paired with this is right away what comes to mind is you're smarter than you give yourself credit for, right? Like sometimes people just assume things about pigs because we use it such as a derogatory term, but pigs are so smart. And also they're sensitive, their skin is very sensitive. They cannot be out in sun for prolonged hours, so know that maybe whatever it is that you're facing and all the options, it's like to trust your knowledge, but also to be sensitive to the outside forces. We've got Seven of Pentacles. I'm going to lay out all the tarot tiles on the side, as is my way. Three of Wands. This is Sawyer's Path Tarot. The Lovers. And the Chariot. Okay. So these flanking energies around our Seven of Cups, around this like all that glitters is not gold type of decision that we need to make. There might be something that you really want, but there might be something more practical, and that's the Lovers with the Seven of Pentacles is kind of telling me that the choice needs to be practical. Like you might need to wait a little bit longer to be able to really know what is right. And even though you have all these options up in the air, it's going to come down to what's going to be best for your future, and then that's going to be the one that's going to be really set you in motion. Like I feel like you're going to know it even amidst everything that's in front of you. Like you're just going to trust that and no matter what you pick, it's going to be the right decision. Let's see. This is where I like to bring in some Lenormand because I like to, it really ties everything together. We have the Coffin. And the Heart. I have three. So we have Lady, Mice, and Garden. Okay, so let's see how this all plays out, right? So let's get back to the center. Again, all that glitters is not gold. There's like this big thing that's up in the air, you know, so much like the illusions. I always, like, when I see that Seven of Cups, I think about like what we want, what's realistic, what could happen, what's most likely to happen. You know, and that's where that mystery comes in, and that's where you're like, oh, I don't want to make the wrong choice, but the wrong choice is to not make any choice, you know. The pig is telling us to trust our senses and to really rely on the fact that we know this, we have the knowledge, and, you know, we've been waiting for the right choice, and maybe this has come from something, maybe there was a death in the family, and now you're facing something going forward that is because of that, or you've closed a chapter in your life and now you're going forward and you've been waiting for all the right steps to fall into place. And this feels like such a big choice, because it kind of is. It's going to affect like your worldview, your future, the things that, you know, you're standing, you know. But instead of waiting for this ship to come in, you have to just trust that no matter what, you're going to be in the right spot, make the right choice. I know I keep saying that word, but it's just kind of what's coming through. So we're just going to have to roll with it. And know that, trust that it comes from the heart, you know, and that's not a bad thing, that this is really going to give something that you've just been wanting for a really long time. And the undercurrent of all of it is saying, like, maybe there's been a lot of little problems. Maybe there was problems with just something that you weren't doing enough for, or whenever I see lady in a collective reading, it's more of the passive energy. So maybe there was some passive problems that needed to be overcome in your community in order to be able to move forward and to be able to look towards your future with like an open heart and open mind, and be able to finally set things in motion. So whatever it is you're facing this week, like, again, just be sensitive to the little details and just, you know, pay attention. Don't make any rash decisions without putting some thought into it. And, you know, protect yourself like that pig tells us to. I'm going to give us some guideposts. Oh, that's funny. Stacked. This one rolled. All right. So avoid the things that make you uncomfortable. You know, there's no rules that you have to be stuck in a situation that it makes you uncomfortable out of niceness or kindness. So just avoid it. You know, it's okay to avoid some things. It's called boundaries. Where to sell. So maybe look where you're selling yourself short, and look where you're putting yourself too much out there. Arrive, and you have arrived, you know, show up, be on time, be present, and hydrate. You know, basically we're just plants with deeper emotions, right? Isn't that how the cliche goes? So hydrate, be sure to water and nourish yourself this week. Stay, you know, maybe that's go to the beach, take a dip in the pool, drink more water than you're normally drinking. And it's also funny because Seven of Cups is a water card, you know, it's emotion. So hydrate yourself so that you know where you actually stand. I don't know what you're facing this week. I know that there's a lot going on in my world, but that's okay. It's always tends to be the case, and I get through it. So again, thank you for being here. If this reading resonated, let me know in the comments. If it didn't, that's also okay. They don't always, maybe this one wasn't meant for you. Be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and sign up for my newsletter and all the things. So join me on Patreon, and just, you know, I'm so happy you're here as part of my world. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will be here next Tuesday. Thanks. Bye.